All right, here with Coach Winters after a 41-31 win over Saginaw Valley State. It was a pretty special day on campus. 100 years of Wayne State athletics beginning with a kickoff on Saturday. Talk about kind of what the vibe was like at Tom Adams Field.
It was exciting. The crowd was into it. There were a ton of guys, familiar faces, guys that I've coached. It was pretty electric.
Great 41-31 win, like I said, over the Cardinals, and wasn't really that close. There's a couple late scores. You guys played very well, and the score doesn't indicate how well you guys played. What were your biggest takeaways from that game?
Yeah, I'm with you. We did play well, and I'm really proud of our guys. The biggest takeaways I think is that we're growing up. You know, when we first started talking, you think about the offensive line. They were young, hadn't played a lot of football, didn't know if we'd be able to knock people off the ball. And this may be the first game of the three where we knocked people off the ball. We made room for the guys to run. I think we rushed for over 250 yards. Deontay averaged 20 yards a carry. So there were a lot of positives there. And I think even defensive line, from a run standpoint, we probably were missing three guys, and we still were able to do a decent job of stopping the run.
Perfectly led me into my next question. Great job against the run, under 100 yards. Talk about the defensive line in particular with all the injuries and how well they've played throughout the first three games.
Well, I think it's been tough. I think it's really been tough for those guys just because the numbers are so bad. But you look at two veterans that have played some decent football. Derek Coleman, he's the only guy at the defensive end position that's played any football at all, and he's done a tremendous job. And he's got to play more plays than he probably would normally play, but he's doing a good job. And Justin Hollins inside still gives us that 300-pound presence that he's made key stops for us. In the Indy game, a key fourth down stop where he just took the whole offensive line and knocked them back. So those two guys in particular have done a good job. But you know what? Some guys that people don't talk about, Lamont Baker and Blake Mazer, are two seniors inside that have done a really good job for us. And Brady Beaton is just one of those guys that never gives up. He plays so hard. So we're getting a lot of effort and compete out of the D-line.
You mentioned Deontay Nicholas, just another electric game. He's turning into one of the most exciting players to watch in the country. GLIAC special Teams Player of the Week. What more can you say about number 4?
I got to get him the ball.
Yeah.
You know what? He's a captain. He's a leader. He has the attitude that inspires the other guys. There's not a whole lot more you can say about him. You just got to keep him humble and keep giving him the ball.
One of those guys getting him the ball, DJ Zazula. Great start to the season, 9 touchdowns, over a 200 QB rating. Talk about how he's grown up and he's really becoming something you can rely on offensively.
Well, he's got 9 touchdowns, I think 2 interceptions total. That's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah.
He's making good decisions, and he's putting us in the right place. So those are the things I think that the maturity shows. I also think that he has less lows. He still has the highs, but he's able to recover from mistakes and self-correct, and I think that's a big part of growing up.
Key 2-game road trip coming up. Tiffin and Ferris State combined for over 16 wins. Tiffin went 8-3 last year. Ferris State is what Ferris State always is a solid team. Talk about what it takes to win on the road in this league and how big this road trip will be.
Well, when you talk about road trips, you talk about family, because all you have is that 58-man family, the guys that you've grown with, and it's kind of like the T-shirt, Detroit versus everybody. It's Wayne State versus everybody, because our fans are great and our parents are great. They go, but it's really everybody in the stadium's against us. It's kind of how we look at it.
Talk about some of the challenges that Tiffin presents. They're a confident team after last year and a good start this year, and some of your keys to victory.
Tiffin is a good team. I think their coaching staff has done a really good job of making them competitive and making them one of the better teams in the league. The challenge for us is to go and be ourselves, and who we are as a physical, tough to play against football team. Football is a game where you knock people off the ball, and I think our guys do that. And So when you talk about tough to play, I think we're tougher to play than pretty much anybody. So, the challenge is going to be how well are they prepared for how physical we're going to be.